What if your thoughts could meet the internet? Would your brain still be private? Your thoughts feel private, but Neurotech is changing that boundary. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, link neural signals to software. They can move cursors, restore speech, or stimulate neural circuits. That power drives hope and fear. Headlines ask a cinematic question: can someone hack a brain? The honest answer is layered and surprising, and it begins by understanding how these systems actually work. Think of a BCI as a translator between nerve electricity and code. Electrodes record patterns. Software cleans the noise. Machine learning maps those patterns to actions. Some systems sit on the scalp. Others sit on or inside the brain. Non-invasive caps are noisy but safe. Implants offer precision and clinical power. Each design choice changes capability and risk. So which types matter most for security? We already have real examples. Research implants that let people type by thought, deep brain stimulators that ease Parkinson's tremors, and early commercial implants built by startups. Labs decode vowels, grips, and cursor moves in controlled tasks. These demos show potential and limits. They don't read stray thoughts, but they do produce sensitive neural data that travels through phones and clouds. Let's clear a myth. BCIs don't pluck inner monologues like text from a book. They detect statistical patterns tied to tasks or sensations. Decoding requires training, context, and constrained conditions. Still, the data those systems collect can reveal moods, health markers, or intent signals. That makes the systems valuable and vulnerable in ways ordinary gadgets are not. What does hacking a brain really mean? The phrase covers a spectrum. Attackers might exploit device firmware, steal neural records from the cloud, tamper with machine learning models, misapply stimulation, or leverage measured responses for manipulation. Some scenarios are close to today's reality. Others remain hypothetical. To make sense of them, we'll walk each attack surface layer by layer. First layer, hardware and firmware. Implants and headsets contain radios, batteries, and microcontrollers. Unprotected maintenance ports, weak over-the-air updates, or buggy boot code create openings. Imagine a debug port left unlocked on a medical implant. Attackers don't need superpowers. They need the weakest entry point. Fixing those gaps starts in design, not after deployment. Second layer, mobile apps and desktop software. Most BCIs pair with phones or research consoles. Insecure Bluetooth pairing, weak authentication, or third-party SDKs can leak sessions. A stolen phone or a flawed pairing flow can expose a patient's neural feed. Securing apps means hardware-backed pairing and strict session management, because phones are the easiest route into a system. Third layer, cloud and APIs. Neural data often moves to cloud servers for storage or model training. Misconfigured buckets, overprivileged service accounts, or poor encryption expose that data. Cloud mistakes have leaked countless personal records in other industries. With neural signals, those leaks carry intimate health and behavioral context. So mistakes become much more consequential. Fourth layer, data and models themselves. Raw neural recordings, processed features, and trained decoders are sensitive assets. Model inversion attacks can leak training details. Poisoned training sets can change model outputs. Even without direct access, attackers who control inputs can nudge models into wrong inferences. Protecting the mind means protecting both data and the algorithms that learn from it. Fifth layer, stimulation safety. Some BCIs actively stimulate brain tissue with electrical pulses. If safety interlocks fail, parameters change, or firmware behaves unexpectedly, stimulation could cause discomfort or worse. Modern systems enforce strict limits, but closed-loop stimulation adds complexity. We need conservative defaults, hardware kill switches, and real-time anomaly detectors to keep stimulation safe. Precedent helps us learn. Cardiac implants and insulin pumps have faced vulnerabilities that led to recalls and urgent patches. Regulators now expect secure design and update practices. The FDA issues cybersecurity guidance for medical devices, signaling that Neurotech will face similar scrutiny. Those past incidents show attackers target weak links, and defenders must secure the whole ecosystem before devices scale. Welcome to neurosecurity, the specialized discipline defending mind-connected devices. It blends hardware testing, firmware audits, cloud hardening, and adversarial ML. Expect red teams with Neurotech specialists, public bug bounties, and dedicated test labs. Standards will emerge for audit logs, data formats, and safety interlocks. The field must mature fast as devices move from labs into living rooms and hospitals. Ethics must run alongside security. Who owns neurodata? Do users truly consent when models keep improving? Could companies repurpose neural signals for profiling or advertisers? Bias in datasets threatens fairness. Designers must embed consent, deletion, and override controls. These are not academic questions. They shape trust, uptake, and whether life-changing therapies reach people who need them. Enter neurorights, nascent principles advocating mental privacy, cognitive liberty, and psychological continuity. Advocacy groups push for legal protections and clear limits on secondary uses. Existing health privacy laws, like HIPAA, cover clinical settings, but consumer neurotech often sits outside those rules. Policymakers will need to define neural data as a special category to avoid loopholes. How do we protect brains in practice? Start with secure design, threat models, defense in depth, and encrypted data flows. Require hardware-backed authentication and least privilege for services. Sign and validate firmware updates. Build hardware kill switches and conservative stimulation defaults. Keep immutable logs and user-facing dashboards. These practices turn abstract risks into concrete controls. If you build Neurotech, hire security and privacy engineers early. Run regular penetration tests and adversarial ML audits. Limit raw data exports and provide clear user controls. Publish a responsible disclosure policy and patch on a predictable cadence. Security must be a core product requirement, not an afterthought or marketing checkbox. If you're a clinician or hospital, treat BCIs like any critical medical device. Inventory them, segment their networks, and restrict internet access. Train staff to spot phishing and enforce multi-factor authentication. Coordinate incident response with vendors and patients. Operational discipline reduces attack surface and preserves patient safety. What about users and patients? Choose devices backed by peer-reviewed research or clinical validation. Ask how vendors protect your data and deliver updates. Keep phones and firmware current. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. If your device can stimulate, learn how to pause or trigger a safe mode. Simple practices make big differences. Looking ahead 3 to 5 years, expect standardization, certification pathways, and AI safety tools for closed-loop BCIs. Privacy laws will evolve to classify neural signals as sensitive. Developers will get better SDKs and test benches that make safe defaults easy. The underlying neurotech will improve, so regulation and tooling must keep pace to protect people's autonomy and health. Quick recap before we close. BCIs translate neural patterns into action. They collect sensitive data, and they introduce new attack surfaces across hardware, software, cloud, models, stimulation, and human workflows. The worst mistakes come from weakest links, not magic hacks. With secure design, ethics, policy, and user practices, these devices can deliver huge benefits without turning minds into targets. Want to explore one of these topics deeper next? If this sparked your curiosity, like and subscribe for a deep dive into neurorights next. Tell us in the comments which risk you want explained in the next video.